everybody! I hope you're all doing well. I have a special request from a subscriber to channel Guan Yu, a Chinese general deity, and there's a really beautiful question that we're going to explore with Guan Yu today. I'm going to go ahead and read it here, and then I'm going to get connected. Alright, there's so much in the way of empowerment for the divine feminine out there. Guan Yu spiritually embodies both the old school and the new school of divine masculine. My question would be what Guan Yu would suggest for the masculines to embrace the feminine energy that is coming into balance as of late. How would a true male warrior with many victories adapt to a world where no one can be conquered, spiritually, emotionally, or physically? In a recent meditation, he gave me the gift of a feather. When I first saw it, it was multiple colors, but it's now white. I was so intrigued by this. I took it as the new weapon for warriors. Heart love. That is so beautiful. That is really, really beautiful. Okay, Guan Yu. This is such a beautiful question, and I've never channeled Guan Yu, so I'm really curious to see what he's like and what he has to say about this. Just give me a moment here. I'm going to just kind of absorb more of your question in. I love this feather experience that you had. And it's interesting too because we see Archangel Michael, for instance, has this sword, and this sword is to kill the demons, right? But really, it's almost like a test for us to be attracted to the weapon in order to protect ourselves, or is the weapon something else? Maybe it's love. Maybe it's not a sword at all. Maybe he's working with love instead. And I feel strongly that as human ascension comes along and we start to become more aware of a different way, we'll be more attracted to working with swords of love or feathers of love, right? As the new sword instead of anything else. Because we all want to be touched by love. We don't want to be touched by swords. And in a way, we all aren't perfect, right? We all have our internal demons. So why do we want to pierce them with swords when they really need feathers and love and light, you know? All right, I'm going to relax here and let's see what happens. Thank you so much for this request. I really appreciate it. It's beautiful. All right, Guan Yu. I feel really hot energetically, like I'm standing on something really hot, even boiling or bubbling hot, like lava. It's very intense. It's even like being in the sauna for too long. I'm sweating, having a hard time breathing here. And I feel inspired to close my eyes. And trust the pathway. When I look around, it's overwhelming to me. I experience more of the heat because I'm looking at the lava, so it sort of duplicates everything. There's steam is so hot. I also feel as though there's something down this red pathway of lava, I guess. It's more solid than that, though. Lots of red colors in here. And I feel there's something down that pathway that's a bit hard to take in. But the inspiration to close my eyes gives me power. Gives me a new sense of power. There's a lot going on here because suddenly, this is a bit of a new scene, but it's intermixed with this one. There's like a broken mirror, and I see a woman who's crying over a body, and her tears are just pouring upon this body. So I'm just allowing this energy to express itself, come full circle. It's just a lot of difficulty, a lot of hardship. How do you overcome too much heat, too much sorrow? This is an interesting question because if you do go into a sauna. You can't live there or you'll die. It's not the right environment, you know? So there's something interesting here about, well, I can close my eyes and that does help me adapt in a new way. But what if physically, no matter what I do, I won't be able to overcome it no matter what I do? Physically, I just simply won't be able to overcome it. Then I have to succumb to it. And he says, it's sort of like it doesn't matter if you have to succumb to it. You experience it. You're part of this experience. And it's allowing me to embrace everything more. By closing my eyes, I can embrace it all more. It even allows me to cope with sounds. Believe it or not, I feel meditative. I feel that it calms me and soothes me and rebalances me. I don't experience this broken mirror anymore. It's shattered. And the crying and the tears, I don't experience that. When I close my eyes, I get connected to what is my soul or higher self or something deeper, wiser, more infinite. Within myself is this. Within myself is a connection to this. So I carry it everywhere with me. No matter where I am, I'm carrying this with me. And he's showing me the difference between being in this moment, taking it in, feeling overwhelmed, or simply accepting it, allowing yourself to be present in it, having the power to close your eyes and connect with that energy. It's surreal. I mean, it's beyond human. If we're in the middle of something overwhelming, what do? We freak out, right? We don't just close our eyes and collect ourselves and go get into the internal spirit, you know? We freak out. So this is quite amazing because I can feel the difference between the overwhelmed human who's not going to make it through this versus the human that is accepting this place, this time, this moment. And it doesn't really matter because I'm here, because I'm in this moment, and I accept that. And I allow myself to experience that without fear of it, without resistance of it. And then connecting with this intense and beautiful, expanded, awesome inner wisdom, source energy, higher self, your spirit, however you want to define that. He shows me again this shattered mirror, but the sounds of crying are faded. And he shows me that this piece will be forever broken. And there's nothing you can do, Abbey, to fix it. And he shows me fire and war. But he's not looking at the fire or the war, he's just looking at me. And he hands this piece of mirror to me as like a token of the message. So I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at the background here. It's just a war raging, a clash of two sides, and you can hear the clash, the clanking sounds of weapons, and the screaming and the brutality of it all. There's sounds to it. I ask him, if you're in the middle of a war, how do you close your eyes and connect with that? How do you bring that energy with you everywhere you are? Whether you're in war or you're eating breakfast or you're taking a shower or you're driving. He wants me to look at this mirror piece. And he asks me what it means to me. Give me a moment here. Comes back to the question or the idea that this broken piece will never be healed. Is it be healed or repaired, or it will always be broken? It has to do with this concept. Well, the first thing that comes to me is there are different levels to what is broken and what is healed. And I say, you could call this just a piece of a mirror. You could call this a broken piece of a mirror. You could call this garbage or trash. You could look into it and see your own reflection. You could look into it and see a memory, as I was shown, this woman crying over the man. But you could also accept it is as it is. Therefore, it doesn't need mended or healed or transformed. It can just be as it is. There's more to it than that. There's more to it than that. I don't know why, but I got this inspiration here. I got to play it out, all right? So there's Guan Yu right before me. And suddenly I'm filled with this war rage. And I take this piece and I stab him in the heart with it. And I have this battle cry echoing and echoing and echoing. And I'm putting all of my hate and all of my rage and all of my destructive, chaotic energy into him. Through this piece of a shard, of a mirror, into his heart. All of this energy, I'm giving his soul, his human self, his identity, his experience, his moments. I'm giving this to him. This is how I'm choosing to share myself right now. I'm choosing to give him this as my gift to him. And he shows me on the battlefield, this is what happens. You give a gift of chaos to another spirit, to another soul, who gives a gift of chaos to you too. It's basically a battle of chaos. So who wins, really, in chaos? Who wins? But he's showing me we do this in relationships. We do this with our kids. We do this to ourselves. We do this all the time. Even if we don't have this shard, we're going to stab somebody with it. We still have these intentions, these chaotic responses and reactions to things. And then we give it. And then we share it. And he's talking about, where does war come from exactly? And he's also showing me, if we can do that, if we can conjure up this chaos and give that, why can't we do the opposite? Why can't we do the other thing? Which is not do that, close our eyes, embrace the moment of being in the sauna for too long. Accepting this place that you are in, whether it's a sauna or it's a volcano. But to connect with the deeper spirit, the deeper essence, the depth. That's the true you. The rest is just an outfit. It's just a costume. It's just something you put on for a little while and you work with it. You can conjure chaos with it, or you can conjure something else. And he understands that I don't have a word to describe what that something else is. Have you ever been there before inside yourself where everything is just absolute? There's no vibrations, there's no sound, but yet you're somewhere. You're in a space of, it's like a void, but it's not a sad place. It's like a nothingness, but it's perfect. It's a perfect nothingness. It's splendid. It's phenomenal. It's amazing. There's no sound. There's no vibrations. There's nothing there. Just you in this awesome, peaceful void. Conjure that up. Conjure this. We're going back to this piece that will be forever broken. What do you do with the forever broken parts of yourself? How many of us feel like there is no fixing this one? We're screwed, or I can never go back and do it differently. I can't repair that. I said things I regret and I can't fix it. There's nothing I can do now. How many of us have one of these types of broken mirrors in our life? And what are we doing with it? What are we conjuring up with it? And how is that making us... The word proud comes to me. And robust and tall and admirable and wise. How does that make us that? If we are reflecting on it in a chaos way, in a way of war, defeat. Can't fix it. Nothing can be done about it. Or can we just accept it the way that it is? What are we going to do with it? He keeps coming to me as this robust man, like a big guy, like Buddha, you know, the fat, happy Buddha. He's kind of like a fat, happy guy kind of thing, but he's in this warrior outfit. And he has this intensity, but I'm surprised by how big he is. He's got a belly, like he looks like he eats well. There's just so much more he wants to say, so much he wants to share. I mean, it's like his heart is pouring out. I mean, the word bleeding out comes to me. It's like his heart is bleeding out, but it's not in pain, it's longing. It's a longing to touch the human race, to touch people, to help, to love. It's a longing for this. The opposite of war. Love. It's pouring out of his heart. It's pouring out of him. It's odd because he's paralleling this with the image of being stabbed in the heart and the blood coming out from chaos, but now paralleling it with a heart that bleeds a longing for love, to share love, to transform the hearts of others with love. Totally opposite concept than war. He shows me a new scene and he's on the ground dying. He has the shard in his heart. And now I'm turning into this woman that's crying over him and he can't speak from the pain. The pain is too great that he can't speak. And there's blood seeping out. It's odd because in this scene I feel like I know him, like he's my own family, and I'm watching my own family member actually bleeding out before me, and there's nothing I can do. And it's you almost go into shock and confusion and terror to see this, and you know that they're not going to live much longer, and you want to do something but you can't really do anything, and you just it's overwhelming. There's no emotion to describe it. It's many responses, many reactions. He wants to bring it back to the reality of war, and this is what war creates. Is that what we are working towards as a human race? More of these experiences. Is that what we are working towards? How can we stop this now? How can we stop this now? We're talking about the type of man who feels a calling to war. The protector. There's a bit of ego involved in it, and sort of a strength that the man possesses that the woman does not. And it's for me to speak like this, because in our world today, women want to participate in every experience, not just cooking and cleaning and having kids. Some women want to be warriors too. But he's talking specifically in these words, in these terms. So we got to just follow through with it, okay? And the man there's a strength that the man possesses, a physical strength, a body power. There's also a bit of ego. I can tell there's a bit of ego here and showmanship of my strength and what I can do to help others through my physical actions as a man. And it does feel heroic. It does feel like saving people's lives by ending other people's lives. So we end other people's lives to save people's lives. And how do we delete that from the man? Is the man, it's almost like an instinctive animalistic nature that comes with the man as the protector. It's interesting because it's like the woman is a protector of the children and the man is the protector of the family, the protector of the community. There's something to this, okay? That's the way that it's being expressed. He's smiling and nodding at me. And we're going to now explore it a little bit differently. Because this is what we've always known, right? This is how it's been for thousands of years. The instinct of the man. So why is the instinct of the woman changing? Why are women now inspired to be the warriors? Why are women now inspired to be the CEOs of the company? Why are women now inspired to be the big dogs? Why? Where's this coming from? But why are men opening these doors for women to come into these roles? So he's showing me how society is changing, because there was a time where there's no way any woman is going to be allowed into those roles. No, absolutely not. And now men are actually opening the door for women to enter into new experiences, masculine roles. Women who want to be more than that, who want to explore different types of experiences than just what the woman for thousands of years has experienced. So the divine feminine is longing for more creativity, more creative self-expressions. And that's what's going on here. The divine feminine is getting pissed off. We've been put on the shelf for too long, and now we're coming out. Now we're wanting to take on these roles. It's interesting because it's creating a bit of a confusion in the man now. Because the woman is just now doing this. And the woman is this caretaker, right? This nurturer. Is now the warrior, is now the politician, is now these different roles, okay? There's I don't know how to else describe this, but he's kind of helping me to feel the balance shift that's going on here. And the divine time and the inspiration. It's almost like the man is wanting to move out of that role while still having that instinct, but wanting to move out of that role more. Where the woman is wanting more creativity, more new experiences. So the woman is replacing the man in some ways. But it feels like a bit of a sea of confusion in identity and roles. Where do women belong? Where do men belong? Well, we all belong doing whatever we feel called to do, right? This is big. I mean, it feels like time where we're just a bit scattered. But it was important to acknowledge that the man did open the door for the woman to enter, to express herself in new ways. And that is happening. That is happening. The man is opening up to the woman to be creative and self-expressive in new ways in society. But now that also kind of misconstrues the woman's place as well. Everything's getting befuddled because our instinctive, the seeds that have been planted in our DNA have been doing it a certain way, and now it's getting topsy-turvy. So the divine feminine is even feeling different, and the divine masculine is feeling different, but it's almost like that strength and solidity and identity as man or as woman is thinning out. It's getting more neutral. It's interesting too, because in these times, people are now more able to be expressive of their sexual identity, whereas that too was a big closed door. That too is a part of this. That too is a part of this mixture, this pot, this soup of identity, the solidity that I am a man or the solidity that I am a woman. And it's kind of getting, it's diluting, I guess. There's something diluting about the solidity here. And it's getting mixed up. He's showing me that the more that this gets mixed up, the more distant we become with other things. I mean, he's talking to me about a lot of stuff that I've seen personally, just kids these days and how they're different than we were, and this electronic age and how distracting it is and how it's escaping. We're not embracing reality anymore. We're going somewhere else. We're living in a non-physical reality. So when we play games, we are living in a non-physical reality. When we're buying non-physical products, like games online or music or whatever, we're investing in non-physical items. So our world is shifting to a non-physical reality, even though we're still physical. And I feel that this is part of this strange, odd confusion between the divine masculine and the divine feminine, because it's shifting and it's mixing and it's getting diluted and it's getting a bit confusing. But it also feels like we don't need war as much, because we need to figure out who we are more than we need war, which is interesting. He's not necessarily picking out divine masculine or divine feminine. He's just showing us this. And it's almost as if he's saying both. It's like, as a man, you're both divine masculine and divine feminine. As a woman, you're both divine masculine and divine feminine. But as a man, there's the seed planted, right? There's these instinctive behaviors, the same with the woman. But society is getting kind of, is mixing up in a unique and different way than it has in thousands and thousands of years. And so balance is needed for both men and women. And it's almost desperate for a longing for balance, which is, in a way, why the spiritual movement is now having more of a voice. It's not a religious movement, it's a spiritual movement. It's a human ascension. It's a longing for something different within us both, within both a man and a woman. He likes this conversation. It's not as if he's going to give us some kind of answer here. He's giving us something to think about and explore for ourselves. And I say, if you could give us some kind of answer, what would it be? How would you shape and mold this into something more specific? He says, he shows me the broken mirror and he says, I'm at peace with this. Now he shows me people who are not at peace with a dying world, a dying earth, not at peace with a lot of things going on the planet. And he says, I'm at peace with this. And then he shows me the difference between chaos and then that place inside yourself, that wise and infinite space. This is something I've seen myself, the power of population, choosing to not participate in something that has control over a lot of people. We could literally just work with each other. We could literally just... He's wanting to say something here. Hold on. He says a better way to put it is... He shows me a battlefield, and one side is red and one side is blue, okay? But this time they shake each other's hand, because that is more important. That is more important. So who's the one giving the orders? Teaching people how to shake another person's hand? Or teaching somebody how to blow someone's brains out? So what orders do we want to listen to here? Do we want to listen to orders on how to kill people and then do that thing because we don't care, or because we have ego, or because we want to show something? We want to save other people by killing other people? What about those that are giving the orders to teach others how to shake somebody else's hand? And he shows me population shifting and being attracted to that energy instead. What about you, though? What about you? What energy are you attracted to? He shows me how we get so wound up with certain things. Politics, sports. He's showing me this. We get so wound up and so in the middle of it all and so aggressive, and now we become warriors again. He's showing us how easy it is for us to go back to this type of animal instinct. Ego, showmanship, strength, showing off strength. He says this broken mirror will not heal anybody or anything in your world. So what are you going to do with it? Cry over it? Stab somebody with it? You're going to make peace with it. And now you will feel whole. You will feel whole. So the broken mirror is simply an illusion. Simply an illusion. He's such a gentleman. He bows to me, and then he takes my hand and then kisses my hand, and then he gives me a hug, and he says, how many more gestures of love and respect can I share with you today, Abbey? Because I love you. Because I care about you. It's really meaningful. It's meaningful to feel that type of caring, that type of love. When we hug someone, do we mean it? When we bow before someone, do we mean it? Or are we just doing this action? And if we do mean it, are we allowing ourselves to receive it? Are we allowing that gesture to heal us? And he says, one day at a time, working with love, one day at a time. He's glowing very, very bright, and he's honored that he was chosen to speak with everyone today. It heals his heart as well. and it gives his heart a place to express itself, to pour out a different type of blood. Love. That was so beautiful. Guan Yu, that was so beautiful. Touching. Amazing. I feel like I'm in a whole nother world right now. Thank you for this beautiful request. It was really a neat experience, and I know this message is going to mean a lot to a lot of people. So thank you. And if any of you are interested in exploring a psychic session with me, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. Okay, everyone, thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day.